everyone. Today I'm going to talk about a technology. It is better than your brand new iPhone, your supercomputer, or any state-of-art technology we've admired. Before I start, let me first ask you a question. What do you think the purpose of developing new technologies is? Money, fame, or convenience? I would say that the very reason is better communication. Living together and forming a community, human nature requires the understanding of others to minimize conflicts among groups. Communication is a core in the maintenance of a community. Human has constantly developed technologies for better communication. These days, we have smartphones, Facebook, Skype, and all other fancy stuff to help us communicate with each other. However, there is a big problem when we communicate through these technologies: lack of emotion. The faster and the more convenient our technology has become, the more instantaneous and the more superficial our relationship with other people has been. There are some attempts to convey emotion in these technologies. For example, emoticons in chat helped us to indirectly show our facial expressions. But that was far from enough. Emoticons were limited to only one part of the human body. As a result, we still could not fully understand how people feel deep in their minds. No worries, people. I have a solution to this problem. It is innovative. Innovative, but it has been in our bodies for a very long time. I'm 200% sure that this will make our lives much better. Let me introduce the emotion technology. The emotion technology is simply based on our emotion, the most valuable treasure of human beings. I had the idea of emotion text. We know the neurons in our bodies can receive orders from our brains and send orders to other neurons so that we can move or jump or laugh or run. And we know the neurons transfer information by the increasing and decreasing of electrons. Sometimes, in order to send orders faster, neurons can jump and skip over some neurons to arrive at the destination. That's all inner body transferring, and it is fascinating. So why not make neuron transferring help deliver our emotion? Do you get what I mean? If we are able to talk and send messages to each other by a certain electric wave, then the neurons in my body can communicate with yours. If that is possible, we can send texts, what we've learned in calculus class, and some funny pictures we want to share all through our neurons. Then there won't be any misunderstanding. I have more to tell you. We learned from research of brainwaves that when people are happy or sad, their brainwaves have different wavelengths, as shown in the EEG diagrams. How about transferring the wavelengths through our neurons to other human bodies? So one day you can tell your parents that, I think I failed my math test. And meanwhile, your neurons carrying emotion are communicating with your parents' neurons. Your parents will forgive you since they know you're already very sad. Let's say that you want to tell your friends that you have a great night at a party. Does a text, "I have a great night," enough? Words, together with your happy emotion, can perfectly express your feeling. That's my idea about the emotion text. Well, emotion text sounds fancy, but it is a future story. But don't be disappointed. Actually, we have managed a good way to send information long before the birth of email, text, and walkie-talkie. That is, the letter. Some people thought in the past that with the invention of the email, traditional letters will be sentenced to death. It is true that email has made our communication much more convenient and faster. However, we still see letter papers, envelopes, and stamps in the market. Today, letter has survived. According to a Swiss poll survey in 2007, we find that people prefer traditional handwritten letters to email. Swiss polls randomly surveyed thousands of individuals and company clients. 75 of them answered that handwritings are more human-like and they feel happier when receiving handwritten letters than receiving emails. On the other hand, they saw that electronic technologies make communication more superficial. That survey is a good example showing the difference between technology and a human. Let me ask ladies in this room, would you prefer a paper love letter or electronic love mail from your lover? No matter whether writing email, there is no denying that receiving a handwritten letter or card gives pleasure in a way that email can hardly replicate. Watching the mailman walk through a door and drop a mysterious envelope is way more exciting than clicking on an envelope icon. A handwritten letter represents effort, earnest, and enthusiasm. Besides, there is something precious. It's a special kind of emotion, and I call it the touch emotion. Typically, people spend more time reading a letter than reading an email of the similar length. They tend to screen through emails and look for important information, while when reading letters, they pay attention to details and remember words and sentences. Why? Because you spend relatively less time typing words than writing with a pen. The less time you spend on writing, the less time you think, and the more likely the text will be superficial and thoughtless. However, when you read a letter in hand, you can touch the paper, sympathize with the context, and recall the writer. In other words, your emotion will be more activated when you are reading real letters. When you read an email, you read it with your own voice and you only care about the content. In contrast, when you are reading a handwritten letter, you subconsciously read the letter with the writer's voice. You will probably feel as if the writer is talking to you. Then you will have a deeper impression of the letter itself. Don't forget, letter is the oldest emotion technology. I'm not saying that we should throw away our smartphones and laptops. I know they're wonderful. I don't want to lose my baby. I love it. We cannot imagine what our life will be like without them. But I'm here to say that don't rely on digital technology too much. Just remember that you already have the best technology you will ever have in the future. Emotion is such a complex concept. I don't know how long it will take, but we will eventually have the emotion text someday. Sometimes traditional and analog are better than new and digital. So why don't you write some cards to your family and friends this Christmas? Merry Christmas, everyone! Thank you.